So you've had this baby. You're so excited. You couldn't be happier. But there's just something that bothers you, the bulge in your belly. You still look as if you're 5 months pregnant. Your clothes won't fit right. And because you had your baby through C-section, there's so many exercises that you cannot do. You feel restricted. You feel so unhappy. Yes, you're happy with your baby, but you don't like the way your body looks. You don't like the way your belly looks. I've been there. And in a repeat C-section mom, and I've managed to lose my C-section belly twice. So I'm here to share with you things you can do to help you lose your belly. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. This is Neze. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time coming across me, my channel, my videos, I hope you get some value from this video, and I hope you get to stick around and subscribe. So in this video, I'm going to share things that I did that helped me to lose my C-section belly twice. And I really, really believe that if you do these things consistently, it will help you to achieve the same result, especially the last, tip that kind of binds everything together. So let's jump right in. I have my notes here just so I don't forget anything. The first step would be belly binding. So I have to take my time and describe this. This is not the traditional belly wrap or waist training that you could do when you have a vaginal delivery. You had a C-section. So first talk to your doctor and be sure that you're okay to belly bind. I started to belly bind at 7 days post surgery, and I spoke to my doctor and she gave the go ahead to do that. So with belly binding, I got a belly wrap off of Amazon. I'm going to leave the link to the exact one I got in the description box of this video. The belly wrap was, I loved it because it allowed me to kind of control the tightness of the wrapping. Because I started 7 days post-op, I didn't want it to be too tight, so I made it kind of loose. But it helped with my back, it helped with my posture. I really, really liked the binding. So I started doing 2 hours, very loose bind. Then I started to make it tighter as I felt more comfortable, and I started to wear it for longer periods. So 2 hours, then proceeded to 3 hours, then 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, and then I was at some point at the 8-hour mark. And I got to make it tighter and tighter as I got more comfortable and as I got, as my surgery healed more or healed better. So I cannot, that belly wrap was such a lifesaver. It helped me feel so much better about myself and about my belly and about my back and my posture. The second thing I did was to juice. So I started to drink celery. I read about it and I watched some videos, and there was so many great benefits to juicing celery. So I did that. So I drank celery first thing in the morning for 6 weeks. Without, once I wake up in the morning, I go to my juicer, I make celery juice and I drink it on an empty belly, fresh off the juicer. It helped me so much. At the 6-week mark, I had lost about 7 pounds, without doing anything, without any rigorous exercise. That was the first thing I did when I couldn't work out. So the first 6 weeks post surgery, I was drinking celery juice and I was breastfeeding, so I couldn't exactly diet or anything. So that kind of helped me, that initial stage, to lose weight or lose the C-section belly. I also continued to juice after the 6 weeks. It was no longer the celery. I was now mixing cucumber, green apple, lime, and some ginger. So I made something called a green juice. I call this my green juice. Because there's green apple in it, it doesn't taste as bad. So I would drink that for the rest of the day. Instead of drinking maybe normal packet juice or a fizzy drink, I would drink that in its place. And it had ginger, it had cucumber, it had lime. So it helped me to the belly just kept going down and down. Do it, try it, and just let me know. Come back and let me know how that worked for you, in 3 months, if you're consistent with doing that. The other thing I did was eating in smaller portions. So this progressed, I started to do the celery thing first while I was still eating normally because I just had a baby, I was breastfeeding and all that stuff. And then I proceeded to the green juice. And then I proceeded to the portion control. So I was eating my normal food, but in smaller portions. I was eating everything, but in smaller portions. When you're breastfeeding, you know how hungry you get. So I was, eating, but just managing what I was eating, making sure that something I would eat normally maybe a big plate, I'll divide it into three and eat it 3 times. And you'll be amazed at how much your body adjusts to smaller portions. Like after the first 2 days, you honestly don't struggle anymore. The first 2 days are the hardest because you still feel like you're hungry. So you have to, say, no, I'm not going to eat anything. This is just what I'm going to eat for at least an hour or two. And then you go and get another small portion for another hour or two. But your body does adjust. By the third day, you're used to eating that quantity. And by the time you do that for a week or two, even if you're given a big bowl of rice or big bowl of food to eat, you honestly might not be able to finish it because your system has adjusted to eating in smaller portions. Another modification I did to my diet was incorporating more protein and more fiber and vegetables to my food. So what my plate of food would look like would be 2 eggs, the meat, maybe the chicken or the beef or fish or whatever, a little bit of rice, my stew, and salad. So that kind of made a big bowl, but the carbs in it was very minimal. I would not say eliminate carbs completely because you do need carbs for the energy and the things that it does for you. It's not all bad, but minimize it. Make sure you increase your protein intake because protein keeps you fuller for longer. So you're not like eating every hour because you're full. Fiber also keeps you fuller for longer and helps you to go like use the washroom a lot more easier. So you incorporate these things into your diet, and it will help you to eat less because you're fuller, and you watch your belly just keep going down, like literally. The other thing I did was improving my veggies intake. My typical Nigerian meal or soup, when we make our egusi or okra, we sprinkle like spinach or kale or pumpkin. If you're in Nigeria, you have access to that. But for me, what I started to do was that I would increase the spinach, like so much of the vegetables, so much of the kale with the soup, just so that it forms like 50% of the entire soup. That way, you're eating vegetables. It's low calorie, and you're still like you're not denying yourself the taste of the food that you're used to, but you're eating it in modification by increasing your vegetable intake. It really does work wonders, and it really did help me. So as I continued to heal, and by the time I got to my 3 month mark, I started to work out. But I couldn't go to the gym because you have the baby, So I started to work out at home. One of my favorites would be workout with Joe. Oh God, that lady, like she has so many good workouts. I'm going to leave the link to her channel in the description box. She has short ones like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and she has like dance workouts that are fun to do. Before you know it, 15 minutes, 20 minutes is gone. I really enjoy and still do enjoy her workouts. And you could do them from your comfort of your home. You could do them on your lunch break at work if you're back to work. It's so convenient, but as long as you're moving, it doesn't have to be anything too serious. Well, because you had surgery. So maybe 20 minutes a day of just dancing, 15 minutes of just dancing, and you're doing it consistently over a long period of time, you will see results. Before I continue, I have a video where I detailed my C-section experience and tips on healing. I'm going to leave the link to that video in the description box as well. So the next thing I did after working out at home, working out, it doesn't end. It's something I still do, but it helped me that time, and it still continues to help me. The next thing I did was to drink a lot of water. It's something I still do now. Like I have the Stanley cup that goes everywhere with me. You drink so much water. Just keep drinking water as much as you can. If it's hard for you to drink water, because maybe some people don't like the taste of water. I do. I love water, so I could drink water anytime, anywhere. But some people find it hard to drink water. You could infuse some fruits like strawberries or lime or lemon in your water to help you with the taste. But make sure you're drinking water, especially if you're breastfeeding. You need to drink water. Water helps you with everything. Water is good. So drink as much water as you can. It seems like, something everybody should know. But honestly, it's so important for you to drink water. Like, just drink water in any form, in any way, as long as water is going in. Just make sure you're doing that. The last, and honestly, what I would consider the most important tip for me that helped me was the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule enables me to, stay healthy or consistent with what I'm doing to help me to lose my weight or to lose my belly fat, but also leaving room for me to be able to do things like pizza night with my kids, grab a cupcake when I go for a party, like without feeling like I was too restrictive. The thing with restrictive diets, if you decide to do something 100% of the time, is that you feel like you're taking all the joy from your life. So you can't even have pizza with your kids, you can't even have the occasional cupcake. So when you now get to, eat them or take them, you abuse it because oh my God, you haven't had a cupcake in 4 months. So when you get to eat a cupcake, you might just eat the entire thing because you've missed it so much. But with the 80-20 rule, there's a balance. You get to eat healthy, 80% of the time, and you get to also binge on the things that you enjoy for 20% of the time, as long as you're conscious to not overdo it. So I made sure that I was eating healthy most of the time, and I also gave room for the occasional Friday pizza, or if I go for a party, I could have a cake, or I could, just eat the things that you ordinarily would enjoy. So in doing these things, don't make it too restrictive. Don't make it in a way that, yes, I'm on a diet, I can only just eat this, nothing else is entering my mouth. No, if you do that, you're going to maybe do that for 6 weeks, lose the weight, and then go back to eating those things again, gain the weight back, and then go back to losing it again and gain it back. There's so many disadvantages to doing that. That's like yo-yo dieting, and it's just not good for you. So make sure you keep that balance. That balance is so important. You eat healthy, and you also splurge when you can, but with the consciousness that you cannot overdo it. So these are the things that I did that really did help me. So if you're able to incorporate these things and do all these things, first by starting with binding your belly, and little by little progress to exercising and eating in deficit, like making sure that you're portioning your food, your protein is more, you will see results. It's not immediate. So I'm not here like trying to sell you any fantasy of lose weight in 2 weeks, or lose weight in 2 days, or lose weight in 10 days. No, this is something that will take you about 3 months before you really start to see results. But once you start to see results, you continue to see results, and it's something that will stay with you, for even after you've lost the belly. So it does work. It did work for me, but it's something that you have to be consistent with, and not want overnight results. It will happen. You will start to see results. After 6 weeks, you will start to see results. And after about maybe 8 to 12 weeks, other people will start to see the result. You will lose the belly. You just have to stay consistent. Thank you so much for watching this video up to this point, and I hope it really does help you above anything else. And if you've not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Also give this video a thumbs up if it gave you any form of value. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Ciao, Bella.